everyone, Chandler here. I figured that I would make a quick video kind of like clearing up some stuff in terms of like why I started testosterone, what some of my goals are with testosterone. I mentioned in my video where I talked about starting testosterone that I liked being seen as a boy because it meant that I wasn't being seen as a girl. And a lot of people didn't realize what I meant by this, so I just wanted to clear it up that I liked being seen as a different gender than the gender I was assigned at birth. But it was me realizing that the only reason I liked being seen as a different gender was because it meant that I wasn't being seen as my gender assigned at birth, which is how I knew, oh well, I'm not that gender either. One of the reasons why I'm taking testosterone is to acquire more androgynous attributes. I was bothered by the fact that I was constantly being misgendered as a girl, and there were no times that people were reading me as a guy. And so what would make me feel more comfortable is to be more androgynous, so that I'm at least balancing it out between when I'm seen or read as a girl in public or read as a man in public. So like between being read as a girl, being read as a boy, I just want to make it more balanced so that I feel more comfortable being androgynous, because that is what I know feels the most comfortable for me. With that being said, for my transition, for taking testosterone, I want to have a deeper voice. That is something that would make me feel more comfortable. And a little more muscle would also make me feel more comfortable. And not having a period would be great. But I know that we can't pick and choose different things, which is why a lot of non-binary people who I've talked to who go on testosterone typically will either go for a regular prescribed amount at like a higher dosage and then stop eventually, or will go at a lower dosage for a longer, more steady period of time. Now, I'm not entirely sure what it is that I want to do yet. So far, I think that I'm going to be taking it at about a regular dosage for about a year, and then after a year probably either lower it or lower it to stop. Another thing that I wanted to clear up is that a lot of people think that I just woke up one day and was like, you know what, I'm actually going to start testosterone. And part of this is because I've been kind of vocal on YouTube about how I wasn't ever going to start testosterone. Now, the part of the reason for me saying that I would never start testosterone is because I went back and forth for about 5 years if testosterone was right for me. I've wanted to start testosterone since I was 14. That is something I've thought about since I was 14, and I'm now almost 19. So it's not like I woke up one day and was like, yeah, testosterone, that sounds like a cool, fun thing to do. I've wanted to be on testosterone since I was 14, but I went on and off and on and off, back and forth on if it was right for me, because I felt a lot of guilt around taking testosterone. Part of the reason for that is that my sister is a trans woman, and she has not been able to transition with estrogen, which is something that she is interested in doing. And so I felt like I couldn't transition because that was something that she wanted to do, and I felt like, well, she wanted it first, and so it would be wrong for me to do it. I had like this weird guilt complex of like, oh, I can't do this because there are other people that want it more, or that want it, or it means more to them or something, and that's just not true. And so I had a lot of guilt in my head about like, well, there are trans guys who want this more, who wanted it longer, who have been out longer, and all of these things in my head that told me you don't deserve to take testosterone. It's something that would make you feel better, but you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to take testosterone because you're not trans enough. And I'd tell that to myself because it's so ingrained in the community, the idea of not being trans enough, and like, well, you have to check off all of these boxes in order to be trans enough, and in order to qualify for starting testosterone, in order to qualify for transitioning, and that's just not true. This is my body, and I'm allowed to make the decisions for it that would help me feel more comfortable with it and ensure my mental health. And so if this is what would be right for me, then I'm allowed to make the decision to do it. There is a very gatekeepery complex within the transgender community that I definitely hope that we can work to eradicate, because it's very toxic and unhealthy. It discourages people from taking the steps and taking the measures to make themselves feel more comfortable with themselves. Like, for me, I didn't feel like I could take testosterone because even though I knew it would be something good for me, I thought that it would be something bad for someone else, and that's just not how it works. I know that if I were in a different position, say that if I was assigned male at birth, eventually I would have gotten to the exact same point I'm at now, where I would have felt, and this is for me personally, where I would have felt so uncomfortable with people constantly referring to me as my gender assigned at birth, that I would go on estrogen in order to get a more balanced level of perception. I know that being androgynous is what feels the most comfortable for me, so if I were assigned male at birth, I would be in this exact same position for myself, where I decide, you know what, I need to do what's right for me in order to feel more comfortable in my body, and I know that the way to do that is to feel more androgynous. To any other non-binary person out there who's looking about starting hormones, my advice to you, don't let other people hold you back from the decision that's right for you. So if you decide that hormones are right for you and you do your research and you really consider the pros and the cons, if you decide that it's right for you, don't let other people hold you back from that. And then on the flip side of that, if you look into hormones and you research about it and you decide that it's not right for you, don't let people get in the way of your decision. Whatever would be best for you is what's best for you. For any binary trans people out there who decide that hormones aren't right for them, don't let people decide what's right for you. If hormones aren't right for you, then don't feel like you have to start them. Don't let people gatekeep in the community. Do what's right for you. I know that it can be hard because there are people in the community that make it very gatekeepery. Don't let it get to you. Do what's right for you and follow your heart, follow your soul, follow your mind and body, and make the decision that you know would be the best for you and your mental health to help you feel comfortable in the shell that you live in, because as cheesy as it sounds, you really do only live once, and whatever makes you feel the most comfortable to ride out your life is what you should do. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel good and comfortable. Alright. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment down below if hormones are something that you're interested in. And yeah, I will see you all next week. Bye!